Welcome back, my friends, to another gaming news video here on the channel. Today we got a couple different things to talk about, but before we jump into it, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe if you guys enjoy the content. Do a variety of gaming content. We do gaming news, let's plays, gameplays. We talk about games, we play the games, best of both worlds and all that good stuff. We're going to be unboxing the new consoles when they come out, playing all those games. A lot of stuff to cover, lots more news, lots more gameplays and let's plays, and man, it's going to be a good time. It's a great time to be a gamer, so definitely keep it locked on the channel, share it with your friends if you guys do enjoy it and want to help the grow the channel and community and all that good stuff. Speaking of communities, we have a community Discord if you want to join that. The link's down in the description below. You can also follow me at JSkeleton92 on Twitter. You can also check out my Nintendo channel down below and different things like that. So anyways, we're going to jump into this, my friends. A couple different things to talk about today. The first being PT. So if you guys know, the Silent Hill demo has been its own thing for a long time, right? I even played it here on the channel. If you guys missed that, you could probably find it somewhere on the channel. Maybe I'll link down in the description below if I can find it. It's buried somewhere on my channel, but it's been a very popular demo, and obviously a lot of people are upset that, you know, they never finished the game, and who knows, maybe one day they'll eventually finish the game. But for the demo itself, the PT demo, a lot of people want to know if they're going to be able to play it on the PS5. Now apparently, according to Konami, you're not going to be able to, but I don't know, there may be workarounds you know, around that. But here's exactly what they said. So PT will not be backwards compatible on the PS5, Konami's confirmed the game's radar. In an email sent to us earlier today, Konami said that the content will not be available on the PS Store, so users won't be able to re-download the content through backwards compatibility feature to the PS5. Now, the language there, it will not be available on the PS Store, right? That doesn't necessarily mean you can't get it to your console, but will it play on the PS5 console is the big question of the day. Now, there are ways to transfer your data, which Sony's already confirmed, you know, whether it's through an external drive, where, you know, USB, you know, I think you can actually, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure you can also transfer some of your content from PS4 to PS5 with an Ethernet cable. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that's another option. So there's going to be people that are going to be trying to do this. The question is, if you do it that way, will it be replayable? Then there's also the fact that I'm assuming any PS4 games you own digitally that are tied to your account are going to be linked to your library. Maybe you can re-download it like that as well, since it's going to be kind of, it's technically a PS4 you know, game, even though it's a demo. That'll be in your library, but again, that's probably not going to be the case since it's not going to be on the PS Store, and it isn't on the PS Store. I don't know. So again, I think the main way that you could probably transfer it over is if you do transfer it, you know, through like a backup, you know, like external drive or USB, or, you know, through the Ethernet connection, if that is an option to transfer all that kind of data directly. So I don't know, people are going to be trying it out. Will you be able to play it on PS5? Time will tell. If you do have the PT demo, be sure to try it out when the PS5 comes out. Let us all know down in the comment section of this video that you're probably never going to come back to anyways. So I don't know. Anyways, moving on, we got a couple other things to talk about. So we got some information about the next gen UI, the PS5 UI and the Xbox Series X / Series S UI. Now a lot of people were kind of getting up in arms about this, and I mean, I can understand that for, you know, a specific reason, but the Xbox Series X right now, obviously a lot of people have, you know, hands-on with it early. A lot of content creators and different, you know, media people have gotten, you know, their own Xbox Series X early, and they're all basically saying that this UI runs in 1080p. So this one's actually from Jeff Grubb. We'll throw it up on screen right now. He says the Xbox Series X UI is 1080p right now, but the embargo says specifically not to dwell on the UI elements because it isn't final and will be updated before launch. If it's still 1080p, then that would be frustrating. So they are being told that it's not the final build, right? This is just kind of like a UI for, you know, for now, for people who are getting, you know, hands-on early, but it's going to be updated before launch. You know, what does that entail exactly? Does that include resolution, you know, new different kind of features? I don't know, but again, apparently the embargo is saying not to focus on the UI because there is going to be some kind of update before launch. Now, when before launch? Is it going to be a week, 2 weeks? Is it going to be literally launch day, like the day before? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Now, 1080p I don't think is a huge deal. On the Xbox One X, I believe the UI was 1080p, but, you know, obviously games can run up to 4K. It's not a big deal necessarily. I don't think, you know, people are gonna really notice it that much, you know, on average, unless, now this is the big thing to me, right? I think the only thing that's gonna be frustrating and weird about that is if you're, obviously, let's say you have a 4K display, right, that you're running, your Xbox Series X off of. You're playing these games in beautiful, stunning 4K, super crisp visuals, super nice, and again, it's just super crispy. And then you turn off your game to go to your UI for whatever reason, navigating the UI, switch games or, whatever else, right? And then you're going from 4K resolution to 1080p resolution. That might be a little bit jarring. That might throw you off a little bit, right? Not because it's 1080p, but because you're literally going from a game that's in crispy 4K to all of a sudden a user interface that's in 1080p. That's where the problem probably lies, right? Is in those circumstances. That's going to be kind of a jarring experience. If you're playing your Xbox Series X on a 1080p monitor anyways, like obviously you're not going to notice because your game's going to be in 1080p too. But yeah, I think that's going to be the main problem. But I don't know. Like, let me know in the comments below. Do you guys think it's a big deal? I think it should definitely be in 4K, since all the games are running in 4K. Now, this may be something that, they're doing in order to save more resources for, like, the games, the developers, and things like that, which is understandable. But at the same time, PS5 is pulling off the 4K, UI, with, the games that are probably, going to run just as great, for the most part. Xbox Series X technically, is 12 teraflops. It's a little bit more powerful. So, you would think that if anything, they would also have a 4K UI. But again, it's not the final build. It might very well be a 4K UI by the time it comes out. I don't think it's something to like cancel your pre-orders over. Definitely not. But I think it would be a very kind of weird experience to go from a 4K game to a 1080p UI. So hopefully they do, bump it up to 4K for the final build. But I guess time will tell on that front. But let me know again in the comments below. Do you guys think it's an issue? Does it matter to you? How much does it matter? Let me know your thoughts. Anyways, moving on from that, we got one more thing to talk about. So we're going to be talking about the PS5 SSD. So is it smaller than we thought? Are these rumors that we were seeing about it being a certain size, are they true? It seems like they may be true. Don't get crazy yet, because obviously, there's a couple things to factor into this, but what am I talking about? So, if you may have seen before, there was kind of like a couple leaks of the PS5 UI before they actually officially revealed it. One of them was this screenshot. Now, this screenshot showed that, on the console, you have roughly 664 gigs free out of 825 gigs. Now, when I heard that the hard drive was 825, I thought that they were just saying 825 because that was what the free space was and really was 1 terabyte. But apparently the SSD is actually 825, which is super weird to me because it's such an odd number. Like, why wouldn't you just make it a 1 terabyte? But anyways, that's neither here nor there. So out of 825, you're naturally going to have less than that. 664 does make sense. Right now, the PS4 UI, I can't remember, but I believe it was taking around 120 gigs of space, roughly, maybe a little bit more. So it would make sense, for the PS5 to, take up a little more space, especially if it's 4K. All the new stuff, like, the fact that games are going to have, like, hints and stuff like that. There's all these different, like, activity things that they're adding to the UI. There's just a lot more in the PS5 UI than there is in the PS4 UI. And so it would make sense that it would be a little bit bigger. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised that you would only have 664 gigs of free space, which again, for a next gen console is not a lot. It's not great, but again, with the Xbox Series X and Series S, it's going to be similar. It's going to be taking nearly up to 200 gigs of space as well, just for the UI. So it kind of in both situations, but with the Xbox Series X, at least it is a full 1 terabyte, so then you're getting about 800 gigs of free space. So but with the PS5, if it's 825 gigs, then you're only getting 665-ish gigs of space. So kind of a little bit weird on that front. But what's relevant about this screenshot now, because you might be wondering, like, it is an older screenshot, why is it relevant now? Some people have done a little bit of digging and they kind of put 2 and 2 together, judging from the user experience that we've seen officially from Sony, and then judging from the screenshots. It seems like a lot of the style of the UI is very similar. A lot of the symbols and the shapes of different things and stuff, it seems to be very similar. So that's why this is relevant now. It seems like this, these leaked screenshots from before may actually be real and not fake, and that's kind of why this is relevant even more now. So the other thing to note though is these screenshots, these leaks of the UI and showing off the storage, apparently they were from a development what do you call it? A dev console, a dev kit. Man, I just woke up. I'm sorry. They're from a dev kit, right? They had, you know, the blacked out controllers and stuff. So maybe the dev kits actually had a little bit more less space than we're gonna have as retail units. That is something to consider as well. Then again, like I said, you know, judging from what the PS4 UI is taking up right now, at the end of its life cycle, and going into PS5, and, you know, factoring in all the features of the PS5's UI, it makes sense that the PS5 UI would be taking up about, you know, that amount of space. You know, if we have 825, 664, it sounds about right, you know, especially considering and comparing it to the Xbox Series X UI and what we know that's gonna, how much space that's gonna take up. So I don't know, seems like we're gonna probably want to buy an NVMe drive to kind of add that additional storage sooner than later. Sony still hasn't given us any word on which drives are compatible. Whenever they do, I'll make a video on that, and we'll go through the list and we'll check it out. And I mean, I don't know the fine details about NVMe's, but we'll talk about it. I'm definitely gonna want to pick up one myself, because even on the PS4 right now, I have a 1 terabyte PS4, and with that, I'm running out of space half the time and figuring out, well, I got to delete this to be able to download this. And so for me, I'm probably going to pick up an NVMe additional, you know, extra storage space as soon as possible. As soon as we get that list, I'll try to make that purchase. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the news today, my friends. Let me know what you guys think about it all in the comment section below. I don't know, what do you think about every single topic? You know, PT demo, do you already own it, and are you going to try to transfer it to your PS5? The next gen UI, is it a big deal that the Xbox Series X and Series S are only going to be running in 1080p, the UI, as opposed to games running up to 4K, and the PS5 SSD seemingly probably may be a little bit smaller than we thought? What do you think about that? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. And again, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Tell your friends we want to help continue growing the channel and all that good stuff. We do variety gaming content. We're going to have a lot more PS5 and Xbox Series X stuff to cover, including the unboxings, Let's Plays, and all that good stuff. So keep it locked, stay safe, stay well, and until the next one, game on.